What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor a harumph.
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Tonight. Alright, we're coming back to Skillet. Yes, indeed. Skillet Fans FEELIN YOU. Come on now. Here we go. This is a request from Jedi Ghost Bear. Jedi Ghost Bear wanted to see me react to this song by Skillet called Best Kept Secret. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. This does not resonate with me or ring a bell in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a chance I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait, I've heard this before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This was posted by Skillet ADA, and the video has 7,937 views. It's not going to get you there. Sorry. So, look, I'm sure it's fine, okay? I'm sure it's fine, but it's not going to get you there. Sorry. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Skillet, Best Kept Secret. Comatose Comes Alive. Now, I think I've done something else from this show. And I remember in the comments saying that that was like one of their earlier shows. So, I don't know if Jen's in this show or not. I'm not sure. This might be pre-Jen. You know, BJ, before Jen. You know, I don't know. Anyway. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
8, 7,
Oh, is this how they start the show? Maybe not. Maybe that was just for that video intro.
Tennessee John!
Shrouded in proof, you're the mystery. You're the truth that lives within the world within. You're the hand that holds destiny, and I can't pretend I don't know, and I can't leave it alone. Yeah. You're the best kept secret in our generation, the best kept secret of all time. You're the best kept secret in our generation, and I found you out. Come on, John! You're the hope over the centuries. You're the cosmic force that rules the galaxies. You're the evidence that demands our belief.
I'm seeing a lot of inconsistencies. I'm questioning whether this is actually live. What we're hearing is live. I don't think it is. I don't think what we're hearing is live. I'm seeing too many times where John is vocally, the vocal what we're hearing is coming through loud and clear. It's coming through clear as a bell, steady, constant volume. No deviation in volume whatsoever. And yet he's up there in front of the mic, moving his head away, shaking his head so that his voice is never consistently lining up with the mic. I've seen that happen like 3 times now, where he's done that. And the first time I was like, did I catch that? But then the second and third time I was watching, and I saw him moving his head around away from the mic, but the volume in his voice, the projection in his voice never changed. It never wavered even the slightest bit. So I question if what we're hearing is live. And I know this is for a live DVD, so it wouldn't surprise me one bit if what we're hearing is all post-production. Now, I'm not saying that they're not performing live on stage. I'm sure they are. But what we are hearing is not live. There's no way. There's no way. So, but I'm sure that they are performing live. What we're seeing is a live performance. I don't question that whatsoever. So, anyway, let's keep going here. Back up a little.
The best kept secret of all time. You're the best kept secret of our generation, and I found you out. You're the best kept secret of my. Come on now. You're the best kept secret. And I found you out. Let's see those hands up in the air. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. Yeah.
Again. See where his mouth is? Look where it is. It's not even close to the mic.
The best kept secret of all time. You're the best kept secret of our generation, and I found you out. You're the best kept secret of our generation, the best kept secret of all time. You're the best.
And right here, you can hear John's voice. You can hear John's voice singing with Corey, but he's nowhere near a microphone right now.
We love you, thank you.
Well, maybe that was the last song of the set. Okay. that was Jen on drums. Okay. Didn't look like her. Huh. Is there more, or is it just credits after this? I have a feeling it's just credits. I always feel torn with these. Ugh. Let me think about this. There's a lot I gotta think about here. Let me think about this. I'll see you in the review. Well, there you go, folks. That was Skillet with Best Kept Secrets. This was a request from Jedi Ghost Bear. Okay, I thought about this. I thought about this extensively, and it really came down to a single factor. It is a big factor, but it's not a big factor in the way of fault of the band. I'll explain what I mean. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.8. Yep, 7.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. Here's the factor. Let's start with the factor first, and then we'll talk about how much this factor affected the score. The factor is this. Was what we were hearing live. It was and it wasn't. This was a big trick in the music industry that Kiss actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were the first ones to do this. And it is a point of contention among Kiss fans. I see the reasoning for it. I don't necessarily agree with it because I do think it's a little bit of a lie. But I do see the purpose. I do see the thinking, and I do see the reasoning. This is a post-production job. What they did was they went in. They recorded live footage, right? They took the audio from the video footage. They took it into the studio, and they fixed it up as best they could, running it through processors and EQ and effects and everything they needed to do. And they realized that there were some discrepancies and there were some things they could do to make it sound better. So what did they do? They went into the studio with the band and they punched them in. And they said, we need you to record this part live here in the studio. And they did. They did that with, I'm willing to bet, probably every instrument. I'm willing to bet. They definitely did it with vocals. I have absolutely no doubt about that whatsoever. And the reason I can say that is I went back and I listened again to a couple of verses. His voice is being doubled. You can hear a live and you can hear a studio. They're both there. So his voice is being layered both in studio and live. They edited some of the footage to coincide with the audio, or the other way around. They edited some of the audio to coincide with the live. So like when he picked up the mic and he talked to the crowd, you heard that. That was clearly live, right? But that was in the background of the two vocal tracks. The studio track was more in the foreground. No, actually, now that I think, no, wait, switch that. Instead, I meant to say it was in the foreground. In the background was the studio track. My apologies. That's why I meant to say that, but it didn't come out. So this was clearly a hack job. This was clearly a production job. There was just too many elements that didn't add up, didn't coincide. I think the biggest red flag is when John walked completely away from the microphone up to the front of the stage next to Corey, and you could still hear John's voice. I think that was the biggest giveaway. Now, here's where things get complicated. How much did this affect the score? believe it or not, I was actually able to put it out of my head, and I was able to separate and not let it affect the score at all, believe it or not. This was not the band's call. This was not the band's doing. This is not in any way, shape, or form the band's fault. This comes down completely to two entities. One, the record label. Two, the production company in charge of producing the live album / live DVD. It is 100% their call. I can guarantee you the band had little to no say about it. Okay? So I do not blame the band in any way, shape, or form. They were simply doing what they were told to do. Having said that, I'm still feeling good about that 7.8. The song was really good, if I'm being honest. I've heard better. I've heard much better from Skillet, if I'm being honest here. But I've also heard songs that were worse from Skillet. This was not their worst. This was a really good song. It was. The songwriting was somewhat simple. It wasn't anything complicated or complex. Nothing really stood out as being amazing about the song. Now, having said that, the song alone I would have given about a 7.2, 7.3, somewhere in there. What really impressed me about this overall was the live performance, all the interactions and the stage energy that were happening on stage. Everything that the musicians were doing to put on a show without relying on production, without relying on cryo or pyro or squibs or, you know, anything of the sort. You know, and even their lighting. The lighting was even really basic. But even with that, it still looked good. And the reason it looked good is because everybody on stage was contributing to the overall product that was being put out in the sense of a live performance spectacle. They were doing everything they could to generate energy. They were moving around. They were interacting with the crowd. They were pointing. They were lifting up their instruments and using their instruments as tools rather than being a slave to them. They were using their instruments as props at a point where they were literally picking them up and not throwing them from a distance, but like lifting them up and dropping them and, you know, spinning them around and, you know, stuff like that. You know, using them as a prop in the show rather than being a slave to it, and I have to play this instrument absolutely 100% perfect, and if I move, I might mess up. No, they didn't worry about that. They were having fun on stage, putting on the best show they could. It looked good from a visual standpoint, and that's what brought the score up from like a 7.2, 7.3, all the way up to a 7.8 was their live showmanship. It helped the score out quite a bit. Now, for those of you that are wondering, is a 7.8 a good score? No, it's not a good score. It's actually a really good score. You don't believe me? That's okay. Take a look down below at my scoring chart. You'll find it down in the video description. You will clearly see 7.0 to 7.9 is the grading scale for really good. This is way up at the top of that scale. So don't think for 1 second this is a bad score. It's not, okay? It's actually a really good score. I was able to put the whole post-production thing aside because, like I said, that is not the band's fault. That is not the band's call. They had probably little to no say in that process. It was the record company coming to them and the production company for the live DVD and the live concert album coming to them and saying, this is what you're going to do, deal with it. Unfortunately, when you're signed to a record label, you don't have a whole lot of say. You do what the record label tells you, which is why I will never sign a record deal ever, because I have no interest in being told, you know, I'm serious, it can be this bad. You know, hey David, Heretic, the whole black thing, wearing black is, everybody does it, so, we're gonna put you in a pink tutu and we're gonna put you on stage. Guess what? If I sign that record label contract, guess what I'm gonna be doing? I'm gonna be wearing a pink tutu on stage. Why? Because I have to. Because if I don't, I'm in a little thing that they like to call breach of contract. And I don't want a lawsuit on my hands, so I will do what I'm told. Same thing here, you know. They signed a record deal. They got to do what they're told, and they went along with it. I'm sure begrudgingly. I'm sure they weren't thrilled about it. But you got to do what you got to do. No, I was able to put that aside and focus completely on the song itself and on what I saw visually from a live performance standpoint. And I liked everything I heard. It all sounded really good. Really good. Which is why it's getting the really good score of 7.8. So, 7.8, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hopefully you'll enjoy the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you did enjoy the show and you would like to see more videos like this, feel free to join the fan base by clicking on that button down there. Yeah, you know the button I'm talking about. Click on that button, join the fan base, and become one of us. Now, for whatever reason, if you don't feel like clicking on that button, that's okay. I still respect you. Also, if you did enjoy the video, please feel free to give the video a thumbs up. It'll do me a world of good, and it will do you absolutely no harm whatsoever. Finally, if you guys do join the fan base, you will find a bell down there that you can click on. By clicking on that bell, it'll keep you up to date on everything happening with this channel, including when new content gets dropped. So, if you want to stay in the know, click on the bell, and you'll stay in the know. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Until next time, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.